In this Florida Man Friday, I'm telling you of two cases, not one, two cases of no good, low down, dirty sons of trying to sell or buy children in Florida. Welcome everyone. Welcome lambs. Welcome new lambs. My name is Kai and this is Love and Murder, Heartbreak to Homicide, the Florida Man edition. Before we begin, I want to tell you that this episode and all my episodes are sponsored by my lambs in Patreon, patreon.com/Love and Murder. Want to go ahead and join an exclusive group of lambs? Then go ahead and sign up to Patreon. It only starts off at $3 a month donation. Patreon.com/Love and Murder. Now let's get into this Florida Man Friday. On March 4th, 2024, 33-year-old Jessica Woods was just hanging out outside of a local H&R Block in Palatka, Florida. I don't know if that's how you say it. P-A-L-A-T-K-A, Palatka, Florida. She was joined by her 18-month-old daughter, and she was out there so long that employees came out and started talking to her. One employee in particular had recognized Jessica as this woman who frequented the area and even used the bank's restroom to change her daughter before. The employee had also seen at one point that day Jessica hitting her daughter with her elbow and spanking her inside the bathroom. So when they approached her, she said she didn't need any help and then she left. The next morning, she was found sleeping on an outside air conditioning unit while her daughter was inside a nearby shopping cart with no blankets. I mean, although it's Florida, it could have been warm, but still. I mean, I guess to play advocate here, at least it wasn't like New York and December and they're just outside. She's sleeping on an AC. Her daughter's in a shopping cart and no blanket. So that's when the same employee came out and asked Jessica if she needed any help. And Jessica said, yeah, you can give me some money. The employee was like, no, but I can buy you some stuff if you need it. If you're all homeless and you need a little bit of food or toiletries, I can buy that to you. And Jessica was like, no, I need money. Give me money. And then she threw her child. That's literally what the article says. She threw her child. And somehow they let her leave with said child. And later on that day, she did come back. When she came back, she put the child on the ground and the little girl started crawling towards traffic. She's 18 months and crawling. 18 months, a year and a half? She should have been walking, right? I think my daughter was walking by that. I don't know. I haven't been the mother of a baby or a toddler in years, so I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure at 18 months, you should be walking. Anyways, she put the baby on the ground, the 18-month-old on the ground, and the baby started crawling towards traffic. So that employee ran and picked up the child and was like, what are you doing? And that's when Jessica said, hey, you want to buy her? Quote, Woods told the citizen she did not need anything, but offered to sell the child to the citizen for $500. When the citizen refused to purchase the child, Woods walked away, leaving her daughter behind. So that's when the employee brought the baby inside, cleaned her up, and then called the police. I mean, I would have called the police long before that. You saw her elbowing the child. And I know y'all are going to find this controversial. Spanking, a swat. I can understand that. Like a swat on the bum. I can understand that. Elbowing my child? I can't understand that. At no age. 18 months, 16 years, doesn't matter. I would have called the cops from there. But okay, they didn't call the cops. You came back. You found them sleeping on the ground. I mean, that's not a reason to call the cops because they could have been homeless, that you should have gotten them help, maybe. I mean, I guess DHS for the child because the child shouldn't be in that environment. But still, I don't know if you would call DHS for that because they could have been put in a worse environment because you don't know what kind of foster family you're going to end up with. But you could have helped them find maybe a homeless shelter to get the child off the street. I guess if I'm thinking about it, still not a reason to call the cops. Elbowing is a reason. Finding them outside and sleeping is not. Throwing the child is a reason to call the police. But I guess it only took for her to, hey, you want to buy my child and then abandon it. I don't know. But I wonder if she said, you want to buy my child and then still took the child with her, would the employee have called the cops? or would the employee had just let the child go? I'm wondering if it was the abandonment part that made her call the police. Him or her. So police came to the scene, picked up the child, and brought the child to DCF. Quote, as a result of an investigation, detectives obtained an arrest warrant for Woods, charging her with child abuse, child neglect, and abandonment of a child. The child ended up being put into foster care, and on March 7th, police were able to find Jessica and charged her with 6 felonies. She was booked and placed into the Putnam County Jail for selling or surrendering a minor for money or property, unlawful desertion of a child, aggravated child abuse, and 3 counts of child abuse without great bodily harm. The charges added up to a bond of $255,000. And that is the case of terrible, horrible mom, Jessica Woods. What did you think about that? So we actually did an episode previously about a man who killed his mom because she got on his nerves. And here we have this woman who's trying to sell her child. Like, what is wrong with people? I don't know. Anyway, that episode about the guy who killed his mom because she got on his nerves, I have the link in the show notes below. Listen to that craziness. And that was the case of Jessica Woods, who was trying to sell her 18-month-old for, I don't know, I guess she just didn't want this child because she was abusing this child the whole time. The one thing I didn't understand, I mean, I don't understand her part, but the one thing I didn't understand is why it took so long for the police to be called on her. So the next case I have for you is this guy who tried to buy a child. And look, the more we go on with this case, the worse it gets. So buckle up. On August 16th, 2022, an 85-year-old man named Helmuth Kolb, that is his name, Helmuth Kolb, first name Hellmuth, almost Hellmouth, but it's Helmuth, last name Kolb, Kolb. I wonder if that's his name or he changed his name. Anyway, on that day, he walked over to a woman who was at a Winn-Dixie in Port Orange, Florida, and made her a proposal. Lauren Benning saw Helmuth coming over to her, and she just thought that he was just a lonely old man, and he just, wanted to say hi. You know how some old guys are like, oh, what a cute baby. Oh, hi. I remember my children when they were babies. You know what I'm talking about? So that's probably what she thought was happening. Quote, he just came up and he started making comments about how pretty she was and how good her dancing was and how he could never have children and he wanted children. She then goes on to say that he said, quote, hey, I want to make a deal with you. I'd like to buy her for $100,000. What? So you start off like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty. She's such a good dancer. I wish I could have had children. Hey, here's an idea. How about I buy your child for $100,000? That was just like a weird jump. Like, what? And that's how she felt too. Quote, I was in complete shock. So people who were standing around came and, intervened. And that's when Helmuth laughed at them. He laughed. They're saying, hey, sir, leave this woman alone. And he just starts laughing. Lauren continues to say, quote, he needs to be locked up and not allowed to be around our children. Someone called 911, and when police arrived, they found Helmuth sitting on a bench outside of the grocery store. When they asked him about this, hey, sir, did you try and buy this little girl for $100,000? He said, quote, we all like kids. How creepy could you be? How creepy can you be? And here is a quote from the Port Orange Police Department. Quote, due to the parents' clear concern that someone was insistent on attempting to purchase their daughter in a grocery store, we were notified. Unfortunately for him, we were able to confirm through his probation officer that Mr. Kolb is currently on probation for similar issues, and he is not to have any contact with minor children. Mr. Kolb should have simply stuck to just grocery shopping. So, fun fact, Helmuth was already registered as a sex offender, and was on probation and was banned from having contact with children after trying to buy another child at a Walmart in 2018. Here's that case. On September 29th, 2018, Tracy, I don't know how to say her last name, Nigh, Nye. Tracy Nye was sitting with her 8-year-old daughter on a bench inside of the Walmart when Helmuth approached them. He started to talk to Tracy, asking if she was married, and then started bidding on her daughter. You heard me right, bidding on her daughter. Anybody got a 50, 50, 50? No, 100, 100, 100, 200, 300 there. The guy in the back, $200, 250, 250. Any, do I hear 300, 300, 300? He offered to buy her for $200,000. What did he think this $200,000 maybe made her call the cops? So when he went to Lauren, he only offered her $100,000? Like, what's going on? Anyway, Tracy got up to leave, as would any sane mother, but that's when Helmuth grabbed her daughter and kissed her wrist. I don't care if he kissed her pinky finger. I would have smacked that old man for his dentures to come out. Even if he didn't have dentures, some teeth would have been coming out. How frickin' dare you, you creepy, nasty old man. He grabbed her daughter and kissed her wrist. This is an 8-year-old. What? Oh my God. This story would have ended differently if it was me. So the mother ran out of the store and alerted store security. Store security then called 911, and when they got there, they saw that everything was caught on camera. And Helmuth was identified through his credit card transactions and his social media. Dude, how old is this man? You're 85. The fuck are you doing on social media? Anyway, through his social media, I guess that's how he gets in contact with little kids. Creepy. And from the social media, they found out that even another woman described a similar experience. So Helmuth was arrested. He pled no contest. Dude, you've been caught. Just plead guilty. And he was sentenced to 5 years of probation. 5 years of probation for battery and false imprisonment. 5 years of probation? As part of his probation, he was forbidden to have contact with minors other than his family members. No, that should have been period. Period with a T. That should have been period. But anyway, he was forbidden to have contact with minors other than family members or go to large stores without supervision. Clearly, that didn't work because he was still doing what he was doing. 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22. That was only 4 years later. So back to his most recent arrest, only 4 years out of that 5, because no, you don't do that. We're going to watch you. We're going to put you on probation and you don't do that. Clearly, you're going to follow the rules because, we see that you're an upstanding citizen for trying to buy an 8-year-old for $200,000. So we know you're going to follow the rules. What the frick? How did you figure he was just going to follow this probation? Anyway, he was arrested and booked on August 25th to the Volusia County Branch Jail on a charge of violating his probation, and he has no bond set. On August 30th, he was, quote, transported from the jail to Halifax Medical Center on Tuesday for a medical issue and died at the hospital on Thursday. The Volusia Sheriff's Office is conducting a routine death investigation, which is customary. I'm gonna let you know right now, they ain't gonna find nothing. And he didn't die on health-related charges. Somebody put an air bubble in him or something. Allegedly, I'm not saying that's really what happened. I'm not saying that's what happened, but I'm saying that's what happened in my head. Wow. Creepy old man. Dude, I can't believe he kissed that child's hand. Can you believe that? How many of y'all felt cringe when I read that out? You can let me know in the comments below. Just type cringe if you felt cringe when I read out that this 85-year-old man, or I guess he was 81 at the time, kissed this little 8-year-old girl's wrist as her mother is trying to grab her away from him. Type cringe if you felt that cringe. Can you believe this episode? I don't understand. And with both of them, how come it took so long? Well, I don't want to say so long. For the first one, it took so long for the police to be called. For the second one, he only got probation, and you saw what happened with the probation. He just went out and did the same thing. Like, I just don't understand what's going on. Let me know your thoughts on both cases in the comments below. I would love to read your comments in a future episode. That is all I have for you for this Florida Man Friday. Don't forget that a free and easy way to help love and murder is by sharing this episode. So go ahead and hit that share icon right now and share this episode with your mom, because we were talking about moms in this episode. So share this episode with your mom and ask her, what do you think about this episode, Mom? Doesn't it give you the creeps? Hit share right now while I'm talking in whatever platform you're on and share this with your mom in your text message. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being a lamb and a new lamb, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.